Welcome back. Now, in our last episode, we saw how Prateek built a cost-effective, reliable IoT network for farms. But there's another challenge: selecting the right components. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by technical specifications, you're not alone. In this episode, we'll explore how Meshtastic Designer makes hardware selection easier using familiar labels instead of complicated specs. So let's dive in.
When I started looking at your website to buy things, the RP2040 was never mentioned. I went for the RP4630, which is probably overspecified what we need. I didn't know which one to go for. I just did it. And Meshtastic also uses the 4630 system. What is quite nice is you're able to, in this tool, suggest a better solution if needed.
Selecting the right hardware for an IoT project can be overwhelming. Which chipset should you use? What sensors are compatible? Instead of guessing, what if there was an easy, simple way to pick what you needed using with everyday language, like air quality monitoring or GPS tracking? That's where Meshtastic Designer comes in. Let's see how it works.
So we start, click here.
Yep.
The biggest advantage, from user experience perspective, is we actually adding the text in the first photo. For example, you like the air quality, or maybe temperature, or maybe you want to get
I can pick for you temperature.
Yeah.
GPS. Humidity, barometer pressure, air quality, 9xx, please.
Okay. They will show you the module here. So this is the tools, the modules you already selected. And here you can see what you already selected by the base of the core, also the sensors.
Yeah.
And the sensors, we also highlight which slot it connected, because that solves the compatibility issues. And you also view as the, exploded view. And so you can see all the modules here. And
excellent. That's
the
very nice.
group view, It's good for the the industrial designer, because they also can zoom in, zoom out, and also can share the design to the team. So we have different standard view, and from the top to view, from the right side.
With just a few clicks, you can configure a custom IoT device without worrying about compatibility issues. Or what if you need something that just isn't in the portfolio yet? Prateek shares his thoughts on what could make this tool even better.
And I need a Modbus. You don't have a Modbus here.
Oh, but Modbus not yet in Meshtastic portfolio yet. But in long run, probably
we need Modbus for the sensor into the ground.
Yeah. But it's not a support in Meshtastic profile yet. It's
that's a
just
requirement.
dedicated, beautiful. In the future, for sure.
Okay, how long will that take?
Yeah, I think it depends on the firmware. I need to ask Meshtastic solution team if they have the roadmap for Modbus yet. But so far, majority is on the wireless.
We need a Modbus 100%. It would be nice to include dimension. Then you have to go to the data sheet. So if you add one click here on the right, the menu, if you can make a dimensions and say, one of these items, when you go into that, we can say dimensions. It gives you in millimeters, how big is it? Because you can't actually, if you're doing an industrial design enclosure or something, you don't know how big this is, right? Unless you go to the data sheet.
That's right.
The other thing also is, if there's an environment sensor here, you've chosen one, the 19002. If you put the enclosure on top, then how do we know that it's testing the right air quality, because it's inside the box and it's closed? So there needs to be something that allows the sensor to have some wire or something that goes outside, that because you want to check the air temperature outside the box, not inside the box. So that's another observation I had when I was playing around with this, with your enclosures. How about batteries? Can you install batteries in this designer tool? Can we add different types of batteries?
Yes, but the problem now, but problem now is we don't have the battery allow people to select now, because we just default based on its dimension, which battery is fit, we just put inside and we ship. But we don't allow customer to choose the battery from the designer tools now.
Now, this is a great tool. I think people will really find it useful to say, I'm trying to do this. Then curate your inventory. You then manage the inventory and then guide them as to what's useful or not, which parts of your inventory is useful or not.
Great insights for Prateek. Many of those challenges are common for anyone trying to build custom IoT devices. If you're using Meshtastic Designer, what features would you like to see? Let us know. Together, we can make IoT made easy even better. In our next episode, we'll take things further. Ken Yu, CEO of RAKwireless, will show us how to fully customize an IoT device. And Prateek will share his vision for making IoT accessible to passionate innovators, so stay tuned.